Hi, and welcome here to my channel. My name is Mariette Explore, and I'm asking you to subscribe, like, and push the bell button to know more about what we're doing and see all the videos. Okay, now we're on our way to go and visit Kim. Also a dear friend of mine, lovely lady, lovely. Her company name is K Craft, and she imports stock from all over Europe, America, all those things. Also more scrapbooking stuff and things like that. And she supplies to the shops. So if you want anything, you cannot buy directly from her if you don't have a shop. But if you've got a shop, you can buy from her. And you can buy everything that you will see here, you will get at La Rochelle's. There's quite a lot of companies here that do stock her stuff. So yeah, beautiful goodies. She got a name, she had to get a name very quickly for her company. Her name is Kim, so she chose the K, and she had to do something with craft, so it's K Craft. Hello! How are you?
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, and I love this weather.
Nice and cool.
Cannot wait to visit you today, to see what you've got.
New stuff. You're gonna love it.
I'm sure. So yes. So let me first tell you about Kim. Kim is my friend. I've met her quite a couple of years ago. Super woman. And she has got more talent in her pinky than most people. She just doesn't do it more enough. But anyway, so today we're here to play. But like I said to you, she's not a shop. So you cannot come here. You have to go to one of the other shops to go and buy them. She supplies them. So she imports them. But you import from everywhere.
We do import from quite a few places.
Yeah.
We bring a lot of product from Europe and Poland, and then we do some products from America as well. Mm-hmm. So, and most of our products are slightly niche products. You have to have a special love for journaling and paper crafting to be able to enjoy everything that we've got.
And you do the stuff from Art by Marlene as well?
Yes, Art by Marlene comes from the Netherlands. You know, she's a South African girl who's living overseas now.
En sy praat Afrikaans.
And sy praat Afrikaans, and she loves her South African customers. She's so excited about all the support she gets here.
Nice. Wonderful girl, wonderful. I don't know where she grew up, but it must be very Afrikaans, because she's really Afrikaans. And she started this whole range that she's making, and she's exporting worldwide, and she's doing really well. I absolutely love her stuff, but it's a bit wacky, but that's okay. We're also wacky, so yeah.
We like a bit of wacky.
Yes. And where did you get your name for your company?
Well, it was very basic. My name is Kim, and I do crafting, so it was K Craft. That's as original as it could be at the time, but it works because everybody knows what it's about then.
They know what it's about. I want to learn. I've seen a technique that you've done, that you play with weird colors. So please show me how to do that.
I can show you, because it's a great way to fix a mess.
Okay.
So we can make a mess, and then we can make it.
And we can fix it.
Yes.
Show me. Show me. Okay, now we're sitting down, and I'm very excited to be here and to see what she's doing. She's got the most interesting little books, journals and books and stuff and what and how. So she's going to show me how to make a mess to look better, because there's so many of us that don't want to stuff up, and if we stuff up, we throw it away. No, don't do that. Keep it. So yeah, I've seen this one before, but I just want to make sure I know what I'm doing. So show me.
For example, this is quite ugly. I'm going to take one of my paints. This is a neon paint that I'm using, and a lot of people are scared of neon paint.
So give me one as well. Let me see.
I'm just going to add another dot of paint. I'm going to use my favorite paintbrush, which is my finger. You know, a finger paintbrush.
Yes, I like that one.
Yeah, so I'm just going to smudge it in here and see what that color is looking like. And neon paint is great for putting over other paint. It works really well. And we can add another color. And as you can see, this entire project is getting worse and worse as we progress. That color is awful. So now I've made this mess here on the page. And sometimes you're just carrying on, and all you're doing is making more mess.
But this one is now an imported one, Americana,
yes,
what?
so this is Americana. It comes from America. This is a very old company. They've been making paint for 57 years. And they do a variety of quality of paints. They do a crafter's acrylic. They do the more Americana, which is a more premium acrylic.
Yeah.
And then they do a lot of fun products. So they do all sorts of metallics and
And
glitters.
the metallics are brilliant. And I've seen at the other shop that we've been at La Rochelle, they're not expensive, nee. If I say they're not expensive, they're not like 190 Rand or stuff. They are really, really very cost effective. So yeah, nice paint.
So you can see here, I'm just adding a variety of paints on my paper, and I'm just creating.
You're actually making a mess.
I'm actually just making a mess because I'm really good at making a mess.
I understand that.
Okay, so this is what sometimes happens, and sometimes I've done it intentionally now, and then sometimes you're not doing it intentionally. But when you're doing mixed media type of stuff, there's a few important things you need to remember. The one thing is that not all product plays together very nicely. So what I mean by that is some of your product is permanent, some of it's not. If it's a permanent product, you can put basically anything
So
else.
that's like more like your
it.
inks and your those sort of things. Some you can wash off.
Yeah, no, things that you can't wash off. Permanent.
Yeah, you
inks,
want permanent?
Once it's down, paint is fairly permanent. Once it's down and dry,
Yes.
it's permanent. If you're doing that, you can work over it, and you can work over it with a different type of product. So, say for example, this is my mess that I made, and now this is dry, and I work over it with a permanent ink. It's not going to interfere with the product that's behind.
Yeah, because it's dry, it's set, it's everything, and now we can play on top.
Exactly.
Okay, I got that.
So if we've got a stencil somewhere here, there we go. And if we put the stencil, I don't know if you'd like to try this. Put the stencil over it, and we're going to just pick up some ink. And this is an archival ink, so it's going to be permanent. It's not going to move. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this underneath you. I recycle plastic all the time, so that we...
It's a very good idea, because otherwise this thing of yours is going to be black,
Exactly,
and
yes.
that's not going to be nice. Okay, and then we just ink away.
You ink away, and you can pick up
Get
more
again.
ink, and if you turn it a little bit,
You
then
can turn
yeah.
it. And I absolutely love this.
And what's fun about this is that you're using different products, and they're just going to work together at the end of the day, because they're going to be safe, and you're changing the look of your background now.
Immediately.
Yeah.
I like that. Especially if you've done a little bit of a boo-boo.
And if you're somebody who's not always sure and confident about what you're working with, and then sometimes doing mixed media stuff is scary, because you're not guaranteed of the outcome. What I like about this is you can keep on doing stuff and layering until you've got the outcome that
Until
you
you're
want.
happy. And if you really don't like it, just start again. Take the other side. Okay, I
Okay,
think we're
go.
okay.
So now, aha moment. Are you
Let's
ready?
go for it, yes.
Are you ready? Ta-da!
Love it. Love it.
So now you've got something that was a bit of a mess, and you've
now
turned
it's
it
beautiful.
into something beautiful.
But now I can go and I can stick all sorts of beautiful things over it, and at the end of the day, you can make magic with absolutely anything. So here's Art by Marlene stuff that she used, a little bit of glitter, and just beautiful stuff to make a beautiful background. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
I'm pleased you enjoyed that.
Listen, Kim, thank you very much that I can come and play by your place, or by your studio. I know you've got a whole range of new things that's coming out. We cannot wait to see what you can show us and what you're going to do, and. So we're going to walk around. I'm going to look at a couple of things. I might ask you questions. I'm not so clever that I know all this stuff, but I know you do. And we're going to take it from there and see where we go. And then I'm going to go and play with this. So if you want to say anything to us, is where can they get you? Where can they see where your things is, or where they are? Ne? So tell me, if I want to go and buy this ink, and I want to go and buy this, where do I go?
So there's quite a few of the scrapbooking shops which have it, and craft shops that have it. So, for example, in Pretoria, Gymnets, Celindi's, they have it. In Johannesburg, beautiful scrapbooks have it. But also the P&A stores.
P&A's.
They're starting to stock the Americana.
Nice.
And Hobby Crafts at Lifestyle, they stock it. So there's quite a few stores that stock it. But the most important thing that people need to know is that if they walk into a store that doesn't have it, they can ask them to order it for them, or they can order it on our website and we will deliver it to their nearest store.
Oh, that's wonderful, wonderful. So yes, thank you very much, Kim, that we could be here, that we can share this with you. Go and look, Cake Craft, brilliant things. And I'm telling you, I'm going to use these techniques this afternoon to play with paints and play with my sort of thing, because you know what, actually A Shak paint can do a bit of the same things. So yeah, and I think my hands won't be as black as yours. So thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you for coming. It's always fun having you here.
Great. And there's one neon.
And then, of course, all our art by Marlene stamps and stencils.
She's really bringing out brilliant stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that she's not buying images. She's designing
She's
her
creating
own images.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then,
Which
yes.
what happens with a lot of the designers is they buy images, and you sometimes see the same image in more than one product. But she's making her own content, so that's what makes her stuff so unique.
And here we are back in my studio. We went to visit Kim from Cake Craft, and she showed us a couple of techniques and the things she does, and lovely, lovely, lovely lady. But at the end of the day, I understand everything she does. I see the waxes, the paints, the chalks, the whatever she's using, inks and stuff. But for me, I paint. My choice of paint is A Shak. A Shak's paint. They are brilliant, they're cost effective, and I've got beautiful colors that I can work with. So bottom line is, what we're going to do is exactly what we've learned by her. We're going to do it in paint techniques, because you can do it on your furniture, you can do it on your walls, you can do it in your art projects, anything that you want to do. Brilliant. So what we do is we first just going to make a little bit of a mess. So we're just going to put stuff everywhere. This is silver. Let me see. It's goblin. It looks a little bit different in the light, but that's okay, it's still beautiful. And I'm just going to make one big mess with them. A Shak brought out a couple of new colors, brilliant colors, absolutely brilliant colors. They are for gemstones that we want to use in a very big project that we are doing next year. So we've got sapphire, we've got topaz, we've got ruby red, and they all seal absolutely beautiful. So let's see. I can't get it open. There we go. Beautiful colors, but also very vibrant colors. So I want to show you. Really, really nice. Now what we're going to do with this, I won't show that in today's video, but you get a product called a glossy accent. Glossy accents. So if you look at this paint, you can see it's beautiful. So glossy accents I've put here to show you. It looks like this. And what you do is, if you put it on, it's mercury, it's really mercury, but it dries clear and it looks like glass. So if you put it on your things and it's dry, you mustn't touch it, so you must leave it like for 24 hours. And you touch it later, it's like glass that you sealed it in with. Brilliant product that you can use on it. I'm not going to use that today, but I wanted to show you. So if you use glossy accents on your topaz or one of these colors, it really would look like emeralds and diamonds and all that sort of beautiful things that you have. They really have popped colors. This one is the ruby red, also brilliant on it. Brand spanking new. You will see I don't even wash my brushes, because at the end of the day, for me, what I'm doing now is just a mess, so I don't have to do the brushes and the stuff. So if you look at the color, it's magnificent. It's just beautiful. It hasn't got metallics and stuff like that in. It's just the way they mixed it. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. They do a Christmas range, and they do all sorts of interesting things that they're doing with it. But for us, for now, this is what we're going to do. This one is a topaz color. Topaz color, and once again you will see how rich the colors is. Absolutely amazing. Now why I'm doing or using these colors is there's a girl called Marlene. I've told you about it earlier when we visited Kim. She is in the Netherlands, and she's got a range that she brings out. Everything she makes, she paints herself and so on, so it's gorgeous. But she loves vibrant colors. So yes, there we go. This is what our little mush mash looks like at this stage. Doesn't look like much, but yeah, we're going to make it look nice. I'm going to quickly blow dry this, that it can just get dry and that we can work on it again. So yeah, bear with me. As you can see, it dries pretty quickly. Now, normally I won't use my hairdryer to dry it, but in cases like this that I want it to dry quicker, you can. It doesn't make any difference. But I work on 2 or 3 or 4 products at a time, and as soon as I'm done with this, I will put it away and I will get back to that. So it's dry. You can see it dried pretty quickly. So yes, now we're going to take our stencil for this one. Take a big stencil, anything that can cover your whole project. And I'm going to use black. Black is a very strong color. You can always dilute it. You can always put something else with it. But I want to make a statement, and therefore I'm going to use strong colors to do it. Once again, we're working with our Hamilton brushes. Absolutely brilliant. Hamilton has got a Pro Chalk range, which is brilliant. On some of our other videos, you will see those. You always use a flat brush. This is called a stencil brush, and you make sure you've got a dry one. It must be completely dry. You only wash it when you finish. Now, one of the products that A Shak has got is this beautiful one. It's called All Solve. I use it for absolutely anything. It's the best brush cleaner on the market. You can clean brushes that is really hard, that you can put in it, soak it and get it clean. Brilliant. Those of you that know me very well know how often I work with my hands and paint with my hands, and it actually gets that paint off as well. So brilliant product. So what I will do is I just put my brush in the paint and I will take quite a bit off. Now normally I do this, but I don't like the black on my coat, so you just take it off and you dab it. So if you want and you're scared that it's not going to work, use masking tape and tape your stencil to your product or your item, which means they won't move. But if you stencil a lot, you will get used to it. So what you do is you just dab it. But if you get used to doing it, you can really and honestly just turn it and it goes quite quickly. Now what's going to happen if your item is not dry, you're just going to mix different colors in it, and sometimes that's not a bad thing. Sometimes that works quite well. I've got a really lekker nice dent in this plastic here that makes it a little bit difficult, but we'll work around that. And you just stencil the whole thing. If you want to stencil that it becomes more clear, more bright, more black, just go over and over again and you will eventually have that nice black color. But for me, this one is fine. I love it the way it is. I work with it quite often, and yeah, it's just a nice color to work with. And you will see I don't use that much paint. You get quite far with it. But if your paint is finished, just add a little bit more for you and keep stenciling. I'm not painting. You will see if you look nicely, I'm turning my brush the whole time. I'm turning it and turning it and turning it, because if I just paint, then you got a bigger chance to smudge it, which is not nice. So just turn your brush. But if it happens that you smudge, don't let it steal your joy. It is the way it is. There's beauty in imperfection, and quite honestly, it's normally just the artist that sees it. So just stick a leaf or something, a flower or something over it. And you just stencil the whole thing. Make sure you covered everything you want to cover. Now remember, this brush must not go in the water till we are finished. And now, when I pick it up, I've got magic. Magic all the way. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. You can add other stencils to it. You can do whatever you please. But this is the way that we will do it instead of using our inks. I really, really like it. But for me, mixed media is the thing that I go with. Mixed media makes me happy. It makes me think out of my comfort zone. And at the end of the day, I get items that nobody else has. You can use absolutely anything on mixed media. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use Art by Marlene that we also got from Cake Craft. It's little booklets like these. Brilliant. What they've done is, in scrapbooking you call it fuzzy cut. That is when you cut the little pieces, you actually have to cut out with the little scissors. They've put it in and they pop-ups. So if you go through them, you can actually just pop the item that you want. You just pop it out like so. Let's see if there's one like so. And it works very, very, very well. So I'm going to use these that we got from Kim. So once again, you make sure that your item that you are using is completely dry, because if it's not dry, you're going to have a problem. And I've taken little old fat ladies for me. Ne? That looks a bit funny, but yeah, they work for me. I like them, and it's just nice. Now, one of the tricks of the trade is there's a lot of people that's past that, but for me, it still works. It's also in scrapbooking or in mixed media. You get a chalk that looks like this. It is called a teardrop chalk. Ne? And what it does is you just basically make the edges from your things. You just soften them. So I will use that. And all it does, it takes that little bit of white on the edges away. That's always there, and just gives you that little bit of something else, and something nice and something beautiful. You just have to make sure that when you do that, you do it everywhere. Everywhere. And I've got little roses and leaves and all sorts of stuff here, still from the same range, Art by Marlene, and you can just add them. So as soon as I start putting them on these ones, you will see that they start popping, but that's not what we want for now. So this is an old one from scrapbooking that you just chalk. See, as soon as I start putting them on here, it's getting that different effect and different style and different. It's just different. Love it. See, as soon as I start putting my thingies on it. Put leaves. And what I'm doing now is I'm just putting it down. I will decide what I do with it a little bit later. For now, I just put them down. This one, I absolutely love what I've got here. I love this. Where this one for me is a little bit too blue. I don't like that. So I will just take that away with all sorts of stuff that I will put here. Remember, if your frame that you are working on is going to hang, it's easy if some of your pieces stick past them. But if you're going to put it down that it's going to stand, then you mustn't do that. Then you must make sure that it's flush at the bottom. So you can see I'm just putting down. Down. And then I can put my lady in again. And I need something here. What have we got? Let's see. Just put them down. Okay, and there's my layout on it. Now what I'm going to do on this specific one, you get different kinds of glues and whatever it is that you want to stick it with. Use what you've got. Use what you used to. Don't go out and buy all the products. It's not necessary. I'm using Tombow here. I love my Tombows. But it's not a have to have. It's just that's the glue I have, and that's the glue I work with. You can use any art glue for this. A Shak's products are really, really brilliant. There's very few things that you cannot use on this. I'm trying to think of one. I cannot think of one that I couldn't work on my A Shak paints. It's called the Cameo range. Cameo range. It's a decorative craft paint, chalk paint. I do everything that I can do with other paints, I can do with this one. It's definitely a brilliant, brilliant paint. So you can see I've just stuck those down. I've picked my little ladies up again. And just stick them down. If you're scared that you're going to forget what you've done and you don't know how they must lay when you take them off, take a picture with your cell phone. Then you just replicate what is on there and it will work. It's easy. Remember, I'm going to seal this. I'm going to use classic seal. Also an A Shak product, brilliant product. You can use Mod Podge. I also use the A Shak Mod Podge on this. Or if I want to and I don't have a sealer, but I'm going to use classic seal on this one. It's just gonna work brilliantly. And there all my little flowers and things are stuck down. Now, one of the most amazing things when you are doing mixed media is that nobody can tell you there's a right or no wrong, because it's your product, it's your thing, and if you like it, quite honestly, do whatever you like. It's got nothing to do with nobody. So on this specific one, I'm going to use 3D foam. You get foam squares as well, but I like these. They just work lekker for me. Remember, if you're going to seal your item, you're not going to be able to seal this one completely because it's just going to be a bit difficult. So this little item you're going to have to seal separately. When we are done, I normally leave all my art things for about 2 to 3 days, just that they can settle, and maybe I decide to do something else. Or so you don't have to seal them straight away. And now, when I pull this off, my little lady is going to stand higher than the plants. And all of a sudden, I've got a 3D picture. This works very nicely. So for now, it looks like that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, I love it. But at the end of the day, I'm here to paint. So I've taught you how to chalk. And that's exactly what you can do. You can go and chalk your items. I'm going to try white on this one. You can chalk your items as well, just to give you that extra layer that you can work with. If you do that, you use a brush, any brush. I love these little ones. I normally have a flat one, not a round brush. And what I do, also a brand new one that hasn't been in the water. So I will pick my paint up and I will take my paint off again. And what I will do is I'm going to show you nicely that you can see. Go from the outside in, because what happens is your edges is taking off your paint. Now here I've still got a little bit wet, but it doesn't bother me too much, because all that's going to happen, it's going to color my paintbrush, and it's going to make that my chalk work looks a bit different on different places. And all of a sudden, if you start doing these, your frame is going to just get a complete different dimension. So exactly what you've done with your inks on your paper, you can do with your paint on your items. And the more you do it, the more you're going to see how amazingly beautiful it looks when it's finished. So you just chalk the whole thing everywhere. And you will see I've turned, and I will do here as well. Don't go from the inside out. Don't. You're going to do it. But don't do it. Try to not do it. Because what happens is you actually make a line that you go out on your line on. So just try not to do it. But if you did it, just carry on, and next time don't do it. Don't let it steal your joy. Art is supposed to be fun. And at the end of the day, I always say if you don't like it, give it to your mother-in-law. So just keep going. This one is a bit too much. that side as well. Okay, and my last thing that I will do, I hate items that's hanging in the air, so I will definitely put here a little bit just of a shadowy sort of thing. Now for me, white is a carry color, so if you don't want to have just white there, you can always put green or brown or anything else around it. But for me, that is what I will take from Kim's project with her inks and stuff, and that is what I will do with it. I absolutely love this technique, and you can really make magic. So if you have not subscribed, subscribe, ring the bell, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you on our next video. Bye bye.